Hi, I'm James Murray White. I'm actually from Cambridge. I grew up in a village in South Cambridgeshire, and for the last 7 years I've been back, so I really feel part of the soil here, part of the treescape. I'm delighted to be speaking to the Cambridge Zero Climate Change Festival 2020 this November online. This is a pre-recorded piece. You can contact me to talk about this project or anything else related to trees at the end of it, and request some oaks yourselves. That is what I hope you'll come away with today. So this is a community initiative, a community project that's happened during lockdown. I'm really proud to be a part of it. We've got an amazing team. I'd like to say a big thank you to Tash, to Belle, to Rob, to Alex, to Rebecca, to all the people that have helped and engaged in doing amazing things, and the people who are requesting trees, and the people who have donated money. So a big thank you. We're doing this together. You may be aware that Cambridgeshire and the whole of the eastern counties has actually one of the lowest rates of tree cover in the whole of the United Kingdom. So the total area of woodland cover in the UK is about 3.21 million hectares, and that's the recent research, annual research by the Forestry Commission. That's out there. But it's only about 13% of what it has been, and we're talking, since Neolithic times, since records of tree cover began. And it's quite astonishing. You think we can travel in the UK, as I have done a lot this summer, to the Great Charnworth Forest, to Selwood Forest, to Dartmoor. These were once huge swathes of forest that connected to each other, and for various reasons, Henry VIII and the great ships of his reign, and before that, trees to build homes, trees to live with and live amongst, they've been cut down for various reasons. Felling, now deforestation is a big issue. Even here in the UK, we've seen huge amounts of Sitka spruce plantations come up in the whole last few years, even here as well as Scotland, and they're clear fell very quickly. They're grown, cut, next lot come. 15 billion trees are cut annually worldwide, and that equates to 476 trees being cut every second. This information came to me yesterday through Avaz, an international petition and campaign site. But what a horrific figure, 476 trees. I mean, we can talk, if you want, about HS2, what's happening at the moment. Yesterday, the ancient 200-year-old Covington pear was cut down, and that was voted 2015 Tree of the Year. Isn't that a shocking thing? 108 ancient woodlands are threatened along the line of HS2. Anyway, here is the positive news. So during lockdown, I was sent a Times article that talked about the government had reneged on its annual tree planting schedule, and they are committed to planting a certain amount of trees per year, etc., and that has fluctuated over the years. It's been explained to me, the ups and downs of it, since 1988, the year I went off to university, and I didn't have a clue then about tree planting and tree cover, but I feel really passionate about it now. So the government, for various reasons, financial reasons, some to do with COVID, others not to do with COVID, reneged on their schedule. So the tree nurseries at a conference in Oxford actually said, we're going to have to burn these trees, and the word used was incinerate. And 4 or 5 tree nurseries had grown 1 million oaks. 1 million oaks that could be, bump up that figure of tree cover, oak cover in the UK. An oak, as we know, is a national tree, national symbol of integrity, and dates back to Druidic times, Druidic worship. We're all very connected to oaks. So a group of us looked at this article. We rang a few of the nursery owners. A few of them would talk to us and went into great detail, and a few of them wouldn't, and were quite traumatized by it, and had made it very clear they were going to go ahead with this. So a few of us got together and said, what are we going to do about it? This is actually an act of ecocide happening in this land. We've just had the Californian wildfires, burning. I've seen for myself, the smoke in that whole region, absolutely horrible, and the death of wildlife and the threat to human habitation. Before that, we had the Amazon burning, we had the Australia bushfires burning, and now in this very land, this tiny island called the UK, you know, we have the prospect of 1 million oak saplings, 45 centimetre, 30 to 45 centimetre saplings being burnt. Basically sticks really, but you know, why should we do that? So a group of us got together and said, you know, this isn't good enough. Let's get those saplings, let's look after them, and let's get them planted. We can do that, surely. Let's try and do that. So you know, using computer and our phones, because we weren't able to meet during lockdown, we started a national crowdfunder, and in the 3 months since that time, we've raised nearly £10,000. And so we reached out to one particular nursery in Wrexham and said, okay, well, we can actually take some of these oak saplings. We want to take them, we want to get them planted. We're going to reach out across the UK and we're going to give them away. We've got the money to get them from you, and that's a separate issue. Why didn't the nurseries just give them away? That's due to their own economic reasons, and we can take that up at a separate occasion with the nurseries. They still need to survive. They've got their economic operations going on. So we've got 30,000 on order from this particular tree nursery in Wrexham, and we've been putting it out for the last couple of months that we want to give the community these trees. So we have a beautiful website, savetheoaks.org, where you as an individual, you as a community, a family, a tree planting group, you can actually request these trees. You can request 5, that's our minimum order, up to 1,000. We have a wonderful website, savetheoaks.org, and there you can find out a whole load of information about the project. You can find cultural references, some interviews and further information, and you can request trees. So we're inviting you still. We've held the closing date for a week just for this this lovely festival. So here in Cambridge you can ask for some, or wherever you live in the UK. You can ask for 5 is our minimum order. You can ask for 1,000 is our maximum. You can ask as an individual with land. You can ask as a family, a community. Set up a tree planting group. You can be part of XR. You can be part of your parish council. We really don't mind. We care about these trees and we want them planted and we want them taken care of. So we're inviting you to have these free trees. What's going to happen is come November, we're going to start getting them distributed to 5 or 6 distribution points around the UK. Here in Cambridge, I'm going to be responsible for about 3,000 to 4,000. There's going to be a big tree planting event in Thriplow at Thriplow Farms that we're negotiating. There's also been a wonderful initiative here between Ely and Cambridge XR. They raised enough money to buy 3,000 oak saplings. So I'm working closely with them. So there's going to be about 3,000 to 6,000 oak saplings here in Cambridge, but I can tell you in Hexham there's going to be 4,000. That's going to be the distribution centre for all the northeast of England, the Scottish borders, way up to Edinburgh, Ayrshire and into Cumbria. In the Midlands, there's going to be, I think, about 4,000 distributed from Corby. They're going as far afield as Sheffield, Leicestershire, Nottingham. I was just looking at the map last night, and it's lovely to see all these little dots of where the orders are coming in from, for 5, for 20, for 30, for 50, for 1,000. Across Oxford, the Malverns, Buckinghamshire, Dorset, a lot of orders spread out along and down there, and then into Devon and Cornwall. There's going to be a distribution point there just in the Mendips, I think. And so, as I say, about 20,000 ordered at the moment. We're still going to have probably around 10,000 available, which can be kept on to next season. But the prime thing here is that this is a community initiative. It's been done by the people with a passion for trees, a passion for oak trees particularly, as a kind of symbol of our identity as beings on this earth, and a connection with wildlife, because as we know, an oak tree, this beautiful one here about 60 years old on Coldham's Common, this will support habitat for lots of wildlife, tiny little bugs, all sorts of birds, etc. I've been part of the team of ecologists that has recently found a rare barbastelle bat in an oak tree, roosting in an oak tree in Smith's Hill Wood in Buckinghamshire, part of the HS2 woodlands that are threatened to be destroyed because of that railway. So you can request these saplings. We'd love to give them out across the land, and we want you to commit to caring for them. Not just plant them and leave them. They may need guards. They may need water. You know, if you plant them in March, we may start going into a dry spring and then summer. So we need you to commit to caring for them. We need you to commit to make sure they don't get eaten, they don't get frost damage. So we want you to have a connection with this sapling, these many saplings that you may plant, because they are a legacy for the future. And we're going to help in as best we can to provide as much information on planting, on tree care, and most importantly, ceremony, to do this action, plant this living being with a state of grace and a state of ceremony. You might want it, you might want trees to plant because of a memorial for people who've died during COVID. You might want to plant it as a memorial for those who've suffered during COVID. You might just think about the whole community, the whole worldwide community, not just here in the UK, not just here in Cambridge or your village or your community. Plant to memorialise this time. It's incredible, sad, but incredibly time of hopefulness that we as humans are living through. There's a lot of grief due to COVID, due to wildlife loss, due to species extinction, due to climate change itself. This is a hopeful act, planting trees, planting these oak trees. And we're also saying it is a radical act of love for the planet, a radical act of love by planting an oak tree, by leaving a legacy, by doing something positive for the world. I'm not making any claims about these oak trees sucking up huge amounts of carbon. They will in the future as they grow big, and wouldn't it be amazing if they all grew to 800-year-old trees in the future? Wouldn't that be amazing? Think of the amount of carbon that could be stored. But I'm not making those great claims of that. We're doing it as a radical, simple act of love for the planet here and now, and going forward to the future. I'm inviting you, people watching this lovely online festival here in Cambridge, whether you live in Cambridge, whether you live anywhere in the UK, to go to our website, savetheoaks.org, request trees, engage with the project, and think about a community initiative that has come during lockdown. Isn't it something that we've managed to come together, raise some money, but engage people on trees, planting, and the community? Save the Oaks.